In 2025, information is no longer power, it's noise. We are drowning in it, yet starving for wisdom. Knowledge is cheap, opinions are everywhere. Everyone has something to say, but few have something to understand. You can learn anything in seconds, yet forget who you are just as fast. You scroll through 1,000 lives a day, but when the screen turns black, do you still remember yours? We have created machines that think faster, calculate sharper, and store more than any human mind ever could. But in this race for progress, something sacred was left behind. We forgot how to pause. We forgot how to feel. We forgot how to think for ourselves. The greatest threat of artificial intelligence isn't that it will outsmart us, it's that we'll stop using our own intelligence altogether. Because while machines are learning to act human, humans are starting to act like machines. Look around. We move on autopilot. We wake up, scroll, compare, react, repeat. Every swipe teaches the mind to seek the next hit of validation, and every like trains us to trade meaning for attention. It's no longer man versus machine. It's man versus his own programming. Every thought you repeat is a line of code. Every doubt you accept, a virus in your system. And every fear you feed rewrites your destiny. You are being trained every day, not by a teacher, but by your screen. Not by truth, but by your scroll. Not by faith, but by your fear. And the worst part, you don't even realize it's happening. We once built machines to serve us. Now, we serve them with our time, our focus, our peace. We obey their notifications like commands. We open them before we even breathe in the morning. And while they evolve, we devolve slowly, forgetting what silence feels like, what patience means, what solitude gives. We've become consumers of distraction, and the price we pay is purpose. The war for your mind isn't loud. It's silent, subtle, sophisticated. It doesn't arrive with weapons or walls. It arrives as comfort, as convenience, as endless entertainment. And while you're entertained, your potential sleeps. You were never meant to live on repeat. You were designed to create, to build, to imagine, to grow. But that part of you, the dreamer, the fighter, the visionary, is slowly being coded out of existence. So pause, breathe, look at the life around you. Ask yourself one question. Who's writing my code? Is it the world telling you what to think, how to feel, and who to be? Or is it you, the conscious mind, the divine creator, the one who remembers that machines can process but only you can believe? The war for your mind has already begun. And the first victory is remembering that you still have one. Look around you. Everyone is moving, rushing somewhere, chasing something, yet no one is truly awake. It's as if the whole world is on autopilot, eyes open but spirit asleep. We scroll through our days like ghosts alive but not truly living. We live in a world of noise now. Endless talking, arguing, shouting. Opinions have become louder than truth, and truth has become too quiet to be heard. Every voice claims to know the way. Every post screams for attention, and in that chaos, your own inner voice, the one that once guided you, has been drowned in the static. People no longer chase vision, they chase validation. Not purpose, but applause. Not meaning, but metrics. We've replaced becoming someone with appearing as someone. And every time we chase the image instead of the essence, we lose another layer of who we truly are. You don't lose your dream in one dramatic moment. You lose it quietly, scroll by scroll, distraction by distraction. You trade your destiny one notification at a time. Every minute you spend comparing your life to someone else's highlight reel is a minute stolen from your own creation. Every time you check who watched your story, you forget that your story was never meant to be viewed. It was meant to be lived. The silent takeover doesn't come with force. It doesn't come with fear. It comes dressed as comfort. It feels harmless. It feels normal. It feels safe. And that's what makes it deadly. Because comfort doesn't scream, it whispers. It says, you deserve to rest. It says, you'll do it tomorrow. It says, it's okay, everyone's doing it. And you listen, because comfort always sounds kind. But behind that kindness is the quiet theft of your greatness. Every time you choose comfort over challenge, you surrender a piece of your potential. You don't feel it immediately, but slowly, day after day, you begin to shrink. Your mind dulls, your ambition fades, your soul goes silent. And one day, you wake up and realize you're no longer the dreamer you used to be. You've become a consumer of distraction, a spectator of other people's purpose. That is how greatness dies, not in fire, not in chaos, but in routine. The silent takeover doesn't destroy you, it numbs you. It convinces you that average is acceptable. That good enough is enough. It whispers, why push harder? You're fine where you are. And that word fine becomes the coffin of potential. You were not born to be fine, you were born to be fearless. You were born to build, to rise, to create something only your soul can imagine. But the world will not hand you the time or focus to do that. You must take it back. Turn off the noise, not just the external noise, the internal one too. The voice that says, you can't. The one that says, you're too late. The one that says, it's not worth it. Because that's not your voice. It's the echo of the world trying to rewrite your mind. There's a reason they call it a feed. Because it's feeding on you, on your focus, on your creativity, on your peace. Every scroll costs you something: energy, clarity, direction. So ask yourself, how much longer will you give your greatness away in exchange for comfort? How much longer will you let routine replace revolution? The silent takeover wins when you stop asking questions. It wins when you accept distraction as destiny. But the moment you wake up, the moment you decide that your life deserves your full attention, the spell breaks. Because awareness is rebellion. And the rarest souls in this world are not the richest, the smartest, or the strongest. They are the ones who woke up before the world told them to. You were born to create, not to consume, to lead, not to follow, to build, not to scroll. And every second you reclaim from distraction is a piece of your destiny you take back. The silent takeover only wins if you stay silent. The moment you speak to your soul again, the takeover ends. Decades ago, when there were no screens, no algorithms, no artificial intelligence, there was a man named Napoleon Hill. He studied the greatest minds of his generation, men who built empires out of nothing, who turned thoughts into fortunes, who took impossible ideas and made them real. Hill didn't find a secret formula hidden in the world. He found it inside the human mind. He said, whatever the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve. And that one sentence became the foundation of every success story the world has ever known. That truth hasn't aged. It hasn't faded. It hasn't weakened. It has only become more urgent. Because today the battlefield isn't made of dirt or steel. It's made of pixels and thoughts. The war isn't outside you, it's within you. In this new digital age, where information floods every second and artificial intelligence promises to do the thinking for us, the weapon that still wins every war is not code, not data, not logic, it's belief. Desire, faith, persistence, imagination. 4 words that outlive every invention. 4 eternal laws that no machine can replicate, no algorithm can simulate, and no technology can replace. You can teach a machine to learn, but you cannot teach it to believe. You can feed it information, but you cannot feed it faith. You can give it memory, but not imagination. Because imagination is not logic, it's spirit. And spirit is what makes us human. Every great leap in human history began with a thought no one else believed in. The airplane, the light bulb, the computer, even the technology you hold in your hand right now once existed only in the mind of a dreamer who refused to give up. That's the awakening, realizing that the power that built worlds still lives inside you. It didn't die with time. It didn't fade with progress. It's waiting quietly for you to stop doubting and start remembering. You were not born to be replaced by technology. You were born to create technology. You were born to bend reality to the will of your imagination. AI can predict, but it cannot dream. It can calculate, but it cannot believe. It can replicate your art, but it cannot feel the emotion behind your art. It can write words, but it cannot feel the pain or fire that births those words. A machine can imitate, but it cannot originate, because creation comes from consciousness, and consciousness comes from spirit. And you, my friend, are spirit wrapped in skin. This is your awakening. This is the reminder that everything begins with a thought. Your life, your career, your relationships, your future, they all start in the invisible. Before anything becomes reality, it exists as an idea, fragile, uncertain, unseen. And the only thing that gives it life is your belief. Belief is not pretending. It's not fantasy. It's discipline. It's the ability to hold the image of what you want even when the world calls you crazy. That's how mountains are moved. That's how destinies are shaped. So ask yourself, what do you really believe about yourself? Not what the world told you, not what your past told you, but what your spirit knows to be true. Because whatever you believe becomes your blueprint. If you believe you're too late, your mind will prove it. If you believe you're too small, your thoughts will shrink your world. But if you believe you are limitless, truly believe it, the universe will bend to match that frequency. Belief is a command to the unseen. It's saying, I will, before the how is even clear. It's trusting that the idea was given to you for a reason, not by accident, but by destiny. Napoleon Hill once said that every person who succeeds must burn their ships, leave no path for retreat. That's what belief looks like. It's not hope, it's not luck. It's conviction that no matter how long it takes, no matter who doubts you, no matter how many times you fail, you will rise again. The world is full of people waiting for proof before they move. But proof is the reward of those who believe first. You cannot wait for evidence to begin. You must begin to create the evidence. So don't look at the future with fear. Look at it with fire. Because AI may learn faster, but it will never dream bolder than you. It may process billions of data points, but it will never understand love or pain or faith. Those are human codes, divine codes. The real power isn't artificial. It's authentic. It's inside you. You are not obsolete. You are not behind. You are not too late. You are unlimited. Because while the world is building smarter machines, you have the chance to build a stronger mind. And in the end, the mind, not the machine, will always be the master. The same mind that once fell asleep can wake again. The same heart that gave up can beat with fire once more. And the same soul that felt lost can rise and find direction again. You are not broken, you are simply untrained. And the good news is what was learned can be unlearned. The human mind is the most advanced machine ever created, but unlike artificial intelligence, it can rewrite its own code. You can reprogram your thoughts. You can reprogram your habits. You can even reprogram your destiny. Every thought is a signal, every belief a command. Your mind listens to everything you say about yourself, about life, about what's possible, and whatever you repeat long enough becomes your reality. That is not magic, it's mechanics. It's the law of repetition, the law of faith, the law of focus, persistence, faith, focus, imagination. These are not poetic words, they are pillars. They are the foundation upon which every great destiny stands. If you want to rise in a world run by machines, you must master what no machine can, your inner programming. Because the moment your purpose becomes bigger than your comfort, no algorithm can outwork your spirit. Reprogramming the self begins in silence. It begins the moment you decide to stop reacting and start rebuilding, to take responsibility for your own code, to look at your habits, your daily choices, your repeated thoughts, and realize they are writing the story of your life in real time. If you don't like the story, change the sentences. If you don't like the direction, change the commands. Your mind is not a cage, it's a workshop. But most people never pick up the tools. They spend their lives debugging everyone else's system, never realizing that the only system that truly matters is their own. The climb doesn't begin when things get easy. It begins when you stop waiting for easy. When you decide that growth is not a moment, it's a mindset. You don't need a revolution around you. You need a decision within you. When you say no more distractions, no more excuses, I'm taking my power back, that's when the climb begins. The climb is lonely. You'll lose people who prefer comfort over courage. You'll walk away from conversations that no longer grow you. You'll face days where nothing seems to change, and those are the days that shape you the most. Because reprogramming doesn't happen overnight. It happens one choice at a time. One morning you'll wake up early instead of hitting snooze. One afternoon you'll choose focus instead of scrolling. One night you'll study instead of settling. And one day you'll look in the mirror and realize you've changed. Not because the world got easier, but because your mind got stronger. That is the climb. The steady, silent, sacred process of becoming who you were meant to be. Napoleon Hill said, "You are the master of your fate, the captain of your soul." And that's not a metaphor, it's a manual. Your thoughts are the steering wheel, Your habits are the gears, and your faith is the engine that keeps you moving forward when logic says stop. Machines are built to follow instructions. Humans are born to create them. So reprogram your inner voice. When it says I can't, rewrite it to I will. When it says it's too late, rewrite it to my time is now. When it says I'm not enough, rewrite it to I am becoming more every day. Every affirmation is a line of new code. Every decision is an upgrade to your system, and every moment you choose discipline over distraction, you are installing a new version of yourself. The climb will test you. It will strip away your comfort, your laziness, your excuses, but it will also reveal your strength, your resilience, your spirit. You'll realize that pain is not punishment, it's programming. Discomfort is not your enemy, it's your update. And faith is not foolish. It's the operating system of every dreamer who ever changed the world. So don't fear the climb, embrace it. It's not the mountain that defines you, it's the climb that refines you. Every step forward, every fall, every rise, every repetition, it's all rewriting who you are. And when you look back one day, you won't see the struggle, you'll see the strength that struggle built. Because the human spirit, once awakened, cannot be programmed by anything but purpose. You are not here to exist. You are here to evolve, to reprogram, to rise. To prove that the greatest intelligence on this planet is still the human soul trained to believe. There will be days when the fire fades, days when fear feels heavier than faith, when the voice inside you, the old one, the one that doubts, the one that remembers every past failure, whispers, "Come back, it's easier here," and you'll be tempted, because comfort always calls louder than courage. But understand this: easy never built empires. The greatest minds, the boldest leaders, the strongest souls, they all stood in this same storm. They all felt that same fear clawing at their ribs, and yet they moved anyway. Growth is not gentle, it is not polite, it is not painless. Growth is a battlefield. It's the war between who you were and who you're becoming. Every time you choose to rise, your old self resists. Every time you choose progress over comfort, a part of you must die. The lazy part, the doubtful part, the one that hides behind excuses. And yes, it hurts, but that pain is not your punishment, it's your proof that transformation is happening. Pain means you're expanding. Doubt means you're entering new territory. Fear means you're on the edge of growth. Don't run from it, use it. Let fear sharpen your focus, not shatter it. Let doubt remind you that faith still has work to do. Fear says, you can't. Faith says, watch me. Every great breakthrough begins as defiance, the refusal to quit when comfort calls. Because comfort will tell you to slow down. Comfort will tell you, you've done enough. Comfort will whisper, you deserve a break. But what it really means is, stay average. And you are not here to be average, you are here to be awake. The battle within is not against the world, it's against your hesitation. Hesitation is the silent killer of destiny. It doesn't attack with noise or drama. It waits in quiet moments when you second-guess your instincts, when you doubt your timing, when you pause just long enough for fear to rewrite the script. Hesitation kills more dreams than failure ever could. Because failure gives you experience, but hesitation gives you regret, and regret is a wound that never heals. So when that hesitation creeps in, remember this: the universe doesn't wait for those who think. It moves for those who decide. The moment you decide, truly decide, the universe begins to rearrange itself in your favor. Opportunities appear, people align, doors open. Not because the world suddenly changed, but because you did. Decision is a declaration of faith. It says, I believe in something I can't see yet. And when you move with that kind of belief, life bends toward your conviction. The battle within is not won by fighting harder, it's won by believing deeper. When the mind says, I'm tired, faith whispers, just one more step. When fear says, you'll fail, faith says, fail forward. When the world says, it's impossible, faith says, then I'll be the first. That's the rhythm of champions. Fear on one side, faith on the other, and you standing in between, choosing faith again and again until it becomes instinct. Understand this. Courage is not the absence of fear. It's moving through fear, carrying it with you, and showing it who's in charge. Every moment you act despite fear, you evolve. Every step forward in uncertainty rewires your mind for strength. Every time you refuse to shrink, you teach your soul that nothing, not doubt, not pain, not failure can control you anymore. This is the real victory, not medals, not money, not fame, but mastery over self. Don't wait for permission. Don't wait for the world to say, you're ready. The moment you decide, the universe aligns, because destiny doesn't wait for hesitation, it waits for decision. And the ones who win the battle within are the ones who never stop choosing faith, even when fear keeps screaming their name. There comes a point when you stop chasing success and start becoming it. At first, you run after it, you hustle, you grind, you fight to prove your worth, but then one day something shifts. You realize success was never outside of you, it was growing inside of you all along. Success isn't what you get, it's what you grow into. It's not a goal you reach, it's a version of yourself you build. When you master your mind, you master your world. Because everything outside you, every outcome, every victory, every opportunity is simply an echo of your inner state. You were never built to compete with machines. You were built to create what machines cannot. Faith, purpose, love, imagination. A machine can mimic art, but it cannot feel awe. It can predict patterns, but it cannot feel passion. It can calculate success, but it cannot taste sacrifice, because the soul, that mysterious, invisible force within you, is not programmable. A machine can learn patterns, but it cannot feel conviction. It cannot believe in the unseen. It cannot dream with defiance. That right there is your divine advantage. You were not made to surrender to technology. You were made to evolve beyond it. The future does not belong to the automated. It belongs to the awakened. To those who remember that humanity itself is the greatest innovation ever made. To those who look at the rising tide of automation and say, you can replicate my actions, but you can never replace my essence. Because success in this new age won't come from speed. It won't come from access. It will come from alignment, from knowing who you are and anchoring your spirit so deeply that no algorithm can pull you away from your truth. The rebirth of the mind begins when you stop comparing your journey to anyone else's. When you realize that the real competition was never other people, it was your former self. It begins when you stop consuming and start creating, when you stop chasing validation and start choosing vision, when you stop reacting to life and start responding with purpose. That's when life starts responding to you. The world bends for those who are clear about who they are. It opens for those who walk with faith instead of fear. It rewards those who persist long enough to rewire their destiny. You cannot fake faith. You cannot automate hunger. You cannot outsource belief. Those are the muscles of the soul, and only you can strengthen them. So stop trying to keep up with technology. Start elevating with consciousness, because your mind, when disciplined and awake, is more powerful than any code ever written. AI can learn in milliseconds, but it cannot feel purpose. It cannot hear intuition. It cannot connect to something divine. That's why the awakened will always rise above the automated. Because while machines evolve through data, humans evolve through decision. Every decision you make with faith expands your future. Every doubt you conquer adds depth to your destiny. Every time you choose love over fear, you rewrite your programming in the language of greatness. This is the rebirth. The moment when you stop being a product of your environment and start becoming the architect of your existence. And when that moment comes, when the fog clears and your purpose sharpens, you'll understand what Napoleon Hill meant when he said, the mind is the master. He didn't mean intellect alone. He meant the mind connected to the heart, driven by faith, fueled by vision. That combination, that union of logic and spirit is the source of every miracle humanity has ever known. Now listen closely, because this next truth is what will separate the lost from the legendary. So here's the truth. AI may write words, but it will never write your destiny. It may calculate your habits, but it will never comprehend your hunger. It may generate ideas, but it will never generate soul. The mind, your mind, is still the most powerful technology on earth. It can heal your body. It can shift your reality. It can turn tragedy into triumph. It can imagine something that does not yet exist and make it real. Train it, guard it, use it. Don't let the world program you with fear. Don't let society shrink your vision to fit its comfort. Don't let technology replace your ability to wonder. Because in a world teaching you to forget who you are, remembering is rebellion. Remember your humanity. Remember your fire. Remember that the dream inside you wasn't random, it was written. You were born with the power to imagine a future that no machine can calculate. You can turn faith into form. You can turn ideas into empires. You can turn struggle into strength. That is the power no system, no software, no artificial mind can touch. And when doubt whispers, you're falling behind, you'll smile because you'll know that the game isn't about being faster, it's about being truer. You'll know that while machines perfect imitation, you are perfecting creation. While they process information, you process inspiration. While they follow commands, you follow conviction. That is your edge, that is your genius, that is your humanity. Napoleon Hill's wisdom echoes louder now than ever before. Whatever the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve. He never said, whatever the algorithm can calculate. He said, the mind, your mind, the living, breathing, believing engine of creation. So feed it truth, fuel it with gratitude, train it with faith, and never stop upgrading it with purpose. Because the greatest invention of all time is not AI, it's the awakened human being who knows who they are. Machines can analyze your data, but they will never decode your destiny. They can mimic your art, but they will never match your authenticity. They can learn your habits, but they will never feel your heart. The mind that dreams, believes, and perseveres, that mind cannot be copied. So protect it like treasure, build it like an empire, and lead it like a king. Remember Napoleon Hill's truth. The mind is the master. Be the master. Be unshakable. Be AI-proof. Because in the end, the race will not be won by those who calculate, but by those who believe. And belief that raw, unstoppable, divine energy is the one power no machine will ever understand. You are not data, you are destiny, you are not programmed, you are possibility. And as long as you believe that, the future will always belong to you.